Hi, my name is Carrie Vaughn. For my demonstration speech, I would like to show you how to make a no-sew blanket. No-sew blankets are easy to make and they are also very comfy to use. The first one was given to me by a lady in our church, and I loved it so much she taught me how to make it. They're fun to be able to make for yourself or to give to other people as gifts. Everybody loves a nice cozy blanket, especially in the winter time. There's several ways you can make a no-sew blanket. This one is the one that the lady in my church gave to me. It has the front and back are the same material, and it is a what you would consider a full-size blanket, which is about 2 yards of material, 4 yards of each for each side, 2 yards for each side, so 4 yards total. And it's pretty well, it covers me pretty well. Okay, the other type you can make is you have a one where you have a pattern on one side and then a solid on the back. If you do the solid, you usually try to get the anti-pill fleece, because that is the easiest one to cut into, where you don't have a lot of the peeling of the fleece on it. This particular one was made I made this for my husband for Christmas, and it actually came in a kit. So Joann Fabrics is a good place to get them. If you go in a lot of times at Christmas time, around Thanksgiving, they have no-sew blanket kits where it comes with both the solid and the print, and you just put them together. Or you can easily go in and find the material that you want yourself and have them cut it and make it yourself. This particular one, this one is a little bit shorter than the first one that I showed you, but it is still good enough of a blanket to cover up with. This blanket I started is going to be a baby blanket. So it is about 1.5 yards for each side. So about 3 yards total, and then cutting it to where it's front and back. The one thing you need to know is when you do put them together, if you do not have a solid, is that to make sure that the front and the back are the same coloring. If you look inside, you can see that they are dull. One side is dull, one side is bright. You don't want to do a blanket where you have one side bright and one side dull. So try to make sure that the dulls match on the inside. I recently was given these hem holders, and these will actually help hold the blanket together so that way they stay straight when you go to do the no ties. And the only other material you need is a good pair of scissors. Fabric scissors are the best, but other scissors are good as long as they are very sharp. So the first thing you do is you put the two materials together, and you make sure that they're even. Now, right here, a lot of times you will have this extra piece right there, which is the Joann Fabrics. You have the option of cutting that off or leaving it. I usually leave it because then it adds a little bit extra to the blanket when you get to cutting it and tying it. No-sew blankets are also, you can also make no-sew pillows, which I haven't done, but those would be the same concept. Scarves, there's so many other things that you can do with the no-sew. And I am not an artistic person by far, and this is something that I love and enjoy doing because I can do it without completely messing it up. All right, so the first thing you do is lay out your blanket. Now, depending on the size of your material, it may hang over the table, which is fine. You do want to make sure you have a big enough table, though, to cover most of the material that you have. So you start off here in the corner. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. And in the corner of your blanket, you're going to cut a square. Okay, then that piece is going to be kind of your guide for the next corners that you do. And then what I do is I get myself comfortable, because this is a big blanket, and you just start on one side of the corner and you cut. It does not matter. It depends on how many or how big ties that you want. I usually do 3 cuts at a time. Okay, and then you just take it and tie it. Like tie it once, and then tie it twice, like that. And then I do the next one, same thing. Take it and tie. Okay, that one is only going to tie once, which is fine. Sometimes they'll tie twice, sometimes they'll tie once. It doesn't matter how many times you tie it. If it's tied once, it will still stay. If it's tied twice, it will just stay extra long. Okay, so there's that. And I do tend to pull it a little bit. When you pull it, it just kind of loosens the ties, but as you can see, it didn't take the tie out of the blanket. Okay, and then just continue doing that. Same thing. It usually, depending on the size of the blanket, it usually takes me about an hour to an hour and a half to get the blanket done completely. And that is mostly because I am perfectionist and I like to make sure that my ends are straight as possible, because sometimes, as you can see here, if you look right here, even with the hem thing, you can kind of see that the two materials are a little uneven. That should not matter unless it's completely drastic, because you should be able to pull the material up and fold over and pull to where you can have it even. Again, it doesn't hurt the blanket too much if it is uneven, just a little bit. If it's too much, then you'll have to adjust it to what you are needing.